Hey guys, thanks for joining me this week on For All Things Lexington. It's the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina. Here, you'll hear me talk to people, groups, bands, and organizations about where to go, what to do, and who's who in and all around our beautiful Lake Murray. I'm your host, Angela Byrd, and this is For All Things Lexington.
For All Things Lexington has been brought to you in cooperation with Vanna Byrd, author of Boardwalks and Flip-Flops and Washed Away, both part of the Tidal detective series.
Hey, Vanna, thank you so much for being with me today. Appreciate it.
I'm happy to be here. It's wonderful to meet you.
Yeah, you too. We've been trying to do this for a while now. I see you've got your new book, Washed Away, behind you, and I know that just got published, but the book that we were going to talk about today is Boardwalks and Flip-Flops, but I want to hear a little bit about that after we talk about boardwalks, and flip-flops.
Yeah, here's Boardwalks and Flip-Flops,
Yeah. So Boardwalks and Flip-Flops was your first book, right?
Yes, my first book that I've written to share with other people. Let's put it that way.
Well, I love the cover. Where did that come from?
I have a very low budget as far as designing the cover. So that is a picture that a friend of mine took on the beach one day when we were walking. And I feel like that she captured it perfectly, exactly what I was looking for the book. And so we used her photograph and integrated it into the book. So I just want to say thank you, Tina.
Yeah, that's great. I love that picture. Now, tell us about, without giving the whole book away, Boardwalks and Flip-Flops. Kind of give us the...
Well, yeah, it's a cozy beachside mystery that is told from the perspective of a young police officer in Charleston County. Her name is Brooke Mason, and she has inspirations to become a lead detective along the Sea Islands in Charleston County. And the book is set in Kiowa, and it's based on different locations that I experienced there. And so it helps to kind of give you a vibe of what the island is like and what you can expect if you were to go there as a visitor.
Now, what inspired you to write this book? Where did you come up with the idea?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I unexpectedly had a heart attack.
Oh.
And it came out of nowhere. I'm a very physically fit person, and so it was not expected. And afterwards, I was told that I would have a recovery of 12 weeks. And I thought, I am not going to binge watch Netflix for the next 12 weeks. And it was my teenage daughter at the time who inspired me to put my words on paper and to share a story and to write the mystery. And so I did. I took the time during recovery to write the first book.
Nice. Now, the characters that are in the book, fiction completely, or, in some way or form or another, they're kind of... or at least with ideas. Yeah, based on people, some of the ideas.
It's a little bit of everything, but I'll tell you, mostly the characters are a part of me that I can empathize with a person that is going through that. I try to place myself. However, I do get small inspirations from other places, like in the Kiowa book, Boardwalks and Flip-Flops. Within a month after my heart attack, we were in Kiowa because my husband was receiving an award there. So my girlfriend and I were on the beach. No one else on the beach. We had the beautiful Kiowa Island beach to ourselves. And a man and his dog came onto the beach. He set up his chair. He sat in his chair. His dog turned and sat beside him. And they just stared off into the ocean. And I could tell that the dog was enjoying it just as much as the man was. And so those two characters are in my book. That I don't know anything about the real people, but I imagine they're on the beach, the character that I would place and how they would act. And so I do not use inspiration from friends or family. I never want to do that. I don't want any one of those people in my books.
So now, I know you said you did this book while you were recovering, but I mean, did you just sit down and just start writing, or you already kind of had this idea in your head, or?
Well, I knew that I wanted to write something and I wanted it to be lighthearted. I didn't want to write a serious topic. And that day on the beach, when I started imagining those two characters together, that's how the book kind of came about. Is I'm like, okay, well, let's put some other people in this picture and build around them. And they ended up not being the main characters. They just happened to be in the book. However, they started the inspiration of someone coming along the beach and talking to them and how that would expand from there, you see. And then the story started as I continued the vacation and visited different places. I thought about who characters would be that would happen to be in this restaurant or that restaurant or on this beach trail, and incorporated them into the book to tell the story. And I like to have the reader come with me to the beach, to the location. And once I feel like that they're with me, I want to start the mystery of this little twist. But I'm not trying to make it hard for the reader to follow, because it's meant to be read on the beach on vacation. I don't want to write something that someone has to take notes to try to keep up with which character did what.
Right. Now, some of the places in the book, other than the beach, were those real places? Like, I think you talk about the boardwalk, and I was trying to think maybe a couple of restaurants and things like that. But are those real places that you'd visited?
Yeah, I try to keep the settings real. That's important to me because I want to be able to take people to Kiowa or take people to Bali who do not have the chance to visit. I want them to get the real feel. So the beach, there's a scene at the public park on Kiowa. You can go to that park, and I describe it, and I describe how the character walks along the beach there. There's another restaurant location, and I describe what's going on and what the vibe is like in that location, what kind of music you might hear, what kind of live music you might hear, actually. And then I describe, a great place to go for a sunset, and the characters are at sunset. And one of my characters needs a new outfit. So I describe where she went to and what she had access to. So those things are all real. I want you to be able to really get a vibe of what the location is like, because every beach has a unique vibe and a unique personality that attracts people to it. And if you're looking for a Kiowa experience and you go to Bali, or if you're looking for a Bali experience and you go to Kiowa, I want you to know that ahead of time.
Yeah. Two very entirely different places. You cannot hear
4 or 5 water.
Right. But they are nowhere near the same. So who's your favorite character in the book?
Gosh, Tyler is the dog. He's one of my favorite characters because he plays his true self. Of course, I love Brooke Mason, the main character. I like the fact that she is similar yet very different than me. She is a lot more, she's a very strong woman, and she's a very curious person. And I really like her a lot. I'm having a great time developing her over the first two books, and looking forward to continuing to develop her character more as we go.
Yeah, because and we haven't mentioned that yet, because this is actually a series. Your second one is The Washed Away, which is behind you. The picture is behind you. But that's the second book in the series, right?
Yes, that one published September 3rd. So it's August 3rd. So it's brand new.
Right.
And it's been doing very well.
Good. So, before we talk about Washed Away, I want you to tell me, you are from the Lexington area, and what you call Red Bank Creek.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Okay. Growing up, I'm from Lexington County.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the schools, kindergarten through 12th grade, all Lexington one school. We lived in the same place the entire time. And I call it Red Bank Creek for a reason. We grew up in the middle of nowhere, and we owned property right near Red Bank Creek. And growing up, we were very isolated. And to share this, I'll tell you, we were not the wealthiest family in town for sure. My father often bragged that we bought the first double-wide mobile home in South Carolina. And we did. And we lived right near Red Bank Creek. And so the reason I say Red Bank Creek instead of Lexington is because the people who grew up around Red Bank Creek, like me, were very isolated children. And when we got together, we played and we explored. And that's what started the creativity of just being allowed to, run and play with the other children in the area.
Yeah, back when we had to drink from the water hose, and you only came in when the outside lights, came on, and you knew it was time to go home. There were no cell phones, and you certainly weren't probably in yelling distance. I know I wasn't, but you knew it's time those outside lights came on, on the street lights, it's time to go home.
Yes, exactly. And we did. We rode our bikes home. We rode our bikes everywhere, and we did.
I can remember, I would have been school age by then, but on the weekends, my mother saying, all right, I have things to do, close the door. And if you were thirsty, you seriously drank out of the water hose outside. You had to wait for it to get cool because it was going to be hot at first.
Yeah. Yeah.
The good days with no cell phones. Goodness gracious. So tell me about Washed Away, your book number 2 in the series.
Well, Washed Away continues with Brooke Mason, and it's actually designed to be a prequel as to how she started in her career as a detective in law enforcement. So she is on Folly Beach, and that's her native beach. Yeah, that's her native beach. That's where she lives. That's what she's accustomed to. And she is asked to take on a cold case of a surfer who passed away in 1999. So this book goes from 1999 to present day to explain what happened in the past and what is going on as she's investigating this cold case.
Gotcha. Well, good deal. And so now, where do people go to find your book if they want to order a book or get a book? Or
on Amazon. I am a Amazon. I am self-published. The term that's used is an indie writer, an independent writer. So I independently write. I have friends who help edit. Then we independently make the cover and do the publishing on Amazon ourselves. So Amazon, if you look Vanna Byrd, Byrd, then you'll find both books there.
Good. Now, what about the third book? Coming out anytime soon?
Well, I've just started last week. Okay.
Yeah.
However, I'm looking at April, late spring for it to come out. And I'm looking forward to continuing with Brooke Mason. And the only thing that I will tell you is that I think that Brooke will pay a visit to Edisto.
Ah, so we're going to stay with the beach theme. I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, any signings coming up where you'll be signing your books for people or anything?
I do not have any set up. I recently had one.
That.
Yeah, we do. I would love to do that. I would love to. And I had lots of people in Lexington ask about a signing there. I just have been traveling and I have not been able to coordinate that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I look forward to reading the second one and the third one coming out. We're going to have to talk about getting you a signing somewhere in Lexington soon, and I'm sure probably down at the beaches as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Vanna, so very much for coming on today, and I certainly appreciate it. I'm glad we finally got together.
Thank you. It was wonderful to meet you. I really enjoyed our time together.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or know someone you'd like to see on the show, contact me at forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, allthingslexington.com.
And by Angela Barrett at HomeMattersSC.com. Building on what matters to you.